All right, welcome to the first Dodgers Digest, the live post game of 2025. Good morning, everybody. If you're on the West Coast, it's of course 6:30 a.m. If you're on the East Coast, it's 9:30 a.m. But the Dodgers get a big win to start off 2025. They are 1-0, which is of course something that I think everybody is super excited about. Seeing the team finally play a real baseball game again that's going to count. And that's what we saw today, right? That's exactly what we saw today with the Dodgers getting a win, a comfortable win, right? They didn't really, struggle in this game. The Cubs did not really stand a chance, to say the least, in this ball game, and the Dodgers were, basically getting, took care of business, right, from start to finish. Getting a win today, 4-1 against the Cubs, right? That's the important thing, right? The Dodgers get the W. I think in the end, that's all that counts. The Dodgers, winning those games and getting wins, right? Because that's exactly at the end of the day what's going to count once the season is said and done. Which team has the most wins? And I'm expecting the Dodgers, like I've talked about before. I don't know if I said this before here on the show, but I expect the Dodgers to have the most wins in Major League Baseball this season, right? I mean, they have to be through and through, as we know, the World Series favorites. I think today they showed it against a Cubs team that didn't really stand a chance. I don't know if I mentioned my name. I'm Mike Nelson. If this is the first time you're tuning in to the Dodgers Digest, make sure to subscribe to the channel. We want to thank the 38% of the ones who are subscribed, but over 60% you have not subscribed yet. You got to make sure you subscribe. We're doing these live streams. We're going to be doing watch-alongs. We're even doing live streams today, right, when it's like super early. It's like 6:30 in the morning. I'm not sure who watched that game from start to finish. I know I couldn't watch the game from start to finish. There's no way I would have got up at 3 and been able to be awake right now. So I was able to watch the last 3 innings. Comment below, how many innings did you watch today? How many innings did you actually watch in today's game? That's going to be the theme of today's show, and probably tomorrow as well. How many innings were you able to watch? As we know, with the game being as early as it was for us here on the West Coast, right? Because it's early, right? 3 a.m. baseball game is not something that we are used to. We're used to watching our Dodgers play, in the evening or maybe 9, 10 a.m., but not 3 in the morning, right? 3 a.m. is super early. But we're up here, and, a national audience, watched today's game, right? Today was a national audience, and it was televised on regular television across the United States, free television. Everybody got to watch this game, which was obviously great. It's not every day. I mean, I can't, I don't know, Combo, I don't know if you guys remember a Dodgers season debut on regular television. I can't remember, on national TV, of course. When was the last time a Dodgers season debut was on regular television? At least not in my lifetime. I never got a chance to see that. So this is a first for me. The Dodgers season kicking off in front of such a big audience. Probably, even though this game was at 3 a.m., I'm sure a lot of people watched this game across the country, especially in the East Coast. Chicago Cubs, television market is huge as well, and I'm sure they got a good rating. 5 a.m. for them, the first pitch. So, I'm sure it was a early start for them, but there was probably a lot of people watching as well for the Cubs and, of course, Dodger fans. We got our first comment. Don't care says no sleep, gang. Yeah. So I guess some of you out there didn't sleep at all, which is obviously crazy. But like I said, I got a chance to watch the last 3 innings. Usually I'm going to be watching all these games, right? I mean, I'm not going to miss a Dodger game. But, today, come on, I couldn't get up at 3 and then be able to do an hour show with you guys after. So I would have been like half asleep right now. I'd be like one eye open, one eye closed. So, and even I'm still like kind of sleepy and groggy, even though I got up over 90 minutes ago, right? I got a chance to see the last 3 innings, which we're going to talk about in a bit. But the Dodgers get a big win. Let's go over the of course, the big story also. Yoshinobu Yamamoto, was it 5 innings pitched, only gave up 3 hits, gave up 1 run, only walked 1 batter, 4 strikeouts. Yamamoto was on point. Yamamoto, continued what he did during October, right? We were talking about it yesterday. I mean, come on, guys. After seeing today's performance from Yamamoto is the Dodgers ace, right? I mean, Yamamoto has to be the Dodgers ace for 2025, right? I mean, he's the best pitcher, that the Dodgers have in terms of, what he's earned it, right? Because he's won the World Series. He's been through it. Sure, we got Blake Snell and Tyler Glasnow, a couple, extremely good pitchers, right? These guys are, literally all-stars, right? But Yamamoto is a champion. He is a proven, warrior in the playoffs. And today he showed it again. I mean, this guy would have pitched Game 6 of the World Series against the Yankees. Let's not forget that, right? I mean, this guy would have been pitching that Game 6. And basically he showed today, what he would have done if he would have pitched in that game, in that Game 6, right? I mean, this is probably the kind of Yamamoto we would have got, right? I mean, I have no doubt that he would have closed out the World Series, and I think today he showed it that he's a real deal, and he's obviously going to be an important guy for the Dodgers throughout this 2025 season, right? So we're excited. I think everybody is excited with Yamamoto and how he looked. Not surprised, though, of course, dominating a Cubs lineup that really just didn't have much today. Now, looking at the offense today was a pretty, good team win, right? Ohtani had a big extra base hit late in the game, first extra base hit of the year. He scored a run, of course, early on. And, Teoscar Hernández also, of course, got that RBI. It was a good win, right? Tommy Edmonds, the one that knocked Ohtani in earlier as well. And everybody kind of contributed, right? It was a full team effort. Everybody was obviously Kike Hernandez went 0 for 5 today. Michael Conforto got his first hit as a Dodger. Looked pretty good. Yeah, he even had one swing. Got a chance to see his last bat live. Kind of hit it foul, but it could have been a home run, right? I mean, he just missed hitting that out of the park as he was trying to pull that out, and he kind of pulled it foul, right? But Conforto got a very good swing on a pitch, so it just shows you this guy is looking, pretty good. Miguel Rojas got a hit. Now, of course, another story in today's game had to be the bullpen, right? The bullpen looked great, and Tanner Scott, which I got a chance to watch closely, was, amazing, right? Tanner Scott, everybody did well, right? Banda and Trinan ran into a bit of trouble, but he was able to get through it. But Tanner Scott was incredible, right? Tanner Scott making his Dodger debut in a regular season game was everything that we expect, right? Tanner Scott is the Dodgers closer. I mean, sure, they might use some different guys, but Tanner Scott has to be the closer for the Dodgers in 2025, right? I mean, he's going to be the main guy for the Dodgers bullpen. He's the best pitcher the Dodgers got in the bullpen. And I really think that's going to be, the story, right, for the Dodgers all season long. How well does, Tanner Scott do, and potentially, who knows, could be an all-star on this team, right? I mean, that's the kind of season, if he stays healthy, that the Dodgers are looking for from Tanner Scott, and that's super exciting. The Dodgers have yet another star in the bullpen, a bullpen that, was, come on, the best in baseball last year. This guy, the Dodgers would have never won the World Series without, that bullpen, right? There's no way they would have won the World Series. So that definitely was important for the Dodgers, to say the least, to have, a bullpen like that, right? And it's super important, right, to have that. They had that, of course, during the 24 season, and this year it's going to be even better. Now, it was a little bit concerning, though, to start off today's game with, Freddie Freeman, right? Scratched before the first pitch today against the Cubs. The team said it was left rib discomfort. That's a bit concerning. Of course, today we saw Kike Hernandez, slip in and play first base. Mookie Betts already out as well with the illness, lost 15 pounds. Just terrible, right? Mookie Betts, I believe he's already back in the U.S. Thoughts and prayers with Mookie for sure for his speedy recovery. And hopefully, Mookie's ready to go next Thursday. But definitely, it's a serious illness he's dealing with. And for him to lose 15 pounds, he's an athlete. it's a huge deal to say the least. And I just hope it's gonna. I mean, I think it's gonna be tough for Mookie, right? I mean, sure he might start playing next week, but it's gonna take some time for him to kind of feel 100% again after going what he went through in this trip to Japan, right? Now, Freddie Freeman, that's a little concerning, right? Left rib discomfort, probably because of all the swings. He did get a lot of at-bats in during spring and looked great, had some home runs. It's not like this guy was hurt before today, but he is hurt, right? Now, I don't think is Freddie playing tomorrow? That's a good question, right? I mean, if Freddie is not 100%, why would the Dodgers risk him tomorrow and then he doesn't play? He kind of throwing him off rhythm. So I don't know. We might not see Freddie tomorrow either, right? So that's another issue, not having Freeman and Betts, right? Two of their biggest stars, right? Two of the Dodgers' biggest stars didn't even play today. Didn't play at all, right? That the Dodgers still comfortably got a win, right? So it just shows you how good this team is, right? I mean, any other team loses a couple guys like that, Freeman and Betts, and they probably lose the game. They don't get 4 runs, right? The Dodgers still were able to come up with 4 runs despite missing 2 of their top hitters, right? And that's quite that's important, right? I think that's an important factor. That's a good omen, to say the least, for this 25 season. Not having star players and still getting wins, still finding a way to win. That's all that matters, right? I mean, if you find a way to win, and at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who's playing, who's not, right? I want to thank everybody who's joining on in the stream. One of my first questions was, how many innings did you actually watch today? I only watched 3 innings. I wasn't able to get up at 3 o'clock, guys. Sorry, I wouldn't have been able to do this stream today if I was up for 3 hours. So I got a chance to see the last 3 innings. I got up when it was the top of the 7th inning, so I saw the last 3 full innings. But I want to know if somebody out there actually watched the whole game, actually got up at 3 a.m. and watched the entire game. So comment below if you were up the whole game, the whole 9 innings, watching the Dodgers get a big win out in Tokyo, right? And what about the crowd tonight, or what about the environment? It was crazy, right? I mean, the few innings that I watched, Ohtani's last at bat, fans were just so, into it, right? Ohtani getting the double on an amazing swing, right? It was a breaking ball. It was down and away. I mean, how did he hit that, right? I mean, looking at the replay in today's game, right? I mean, the ball was that would be like a ball that any other hitter would hit, and it would just be a ground ball to second base, right? Normally, right? I mean, it's a pitch to try to create a ground ball, and Ohtani literally hits it, up the line, right? I mean, it's crazy how strong Ohtani is to hit a breaking ball with that strength, and able to, create a hit like that, right? And that's what Ohtani did on that double in the 9th inning on his 5th at bat, for those of you that were watching at the end. But just incredible. Connor says, I work nights, so I was able to watch the game at work. That's awesome. Yeah, so we had at least some fans that were watching the entire ball game, which is obviously great. Maybe, yeah, like you said, some of you are working nights, you're already up. But this was a rough one to watch in its entirety, right? Because you would have had to either stay up all night or get up at 3, which is very hard because you would only sleep maybe 4 or 5 hours, and then how would you function throughout the day, right? So it's super rough. But maybe some of you are going to sleep right now. Maybe some of you are, getting off work if you work all night, or if you were watching the game and you're not working today, maybe you're taking a sick day. Now would be the time to go to sleep. After I finish my live stream, you could go to sleep, right? That's super cool, right? Connor says, please don't forget to like and subscribe to the Dodgers channel. Best Dodgers content on YouTube. Thanks a lot, Connor. I really appreciate it. Yeah, see, Connor knows what he's talking about. We're the best Dodger channel out there. Don't let the other, people tell you different. Myself, Brad, Jay, we bring it to you like nobody else, right? We're bringing it in a different way of bringing you the Dodgers content here. And we're gonna have a lot of watch-alongs, live streams. It's gonna be a pretty awesome channel here, to say the least, so don't miss out. And I really appreciate the love, Connor. Appreciate it. But it's gonna be a not a long season. It's going to be an interesting season, for sure for the Dodgers. And it kind of kicked off on, the right foot for sure today with a win 4-1. But yeah, for those of you that are hopping on, what did you guys think of today's win? The ones that were watching, are you surprised? Did you expect the Dodgers to get a win in the fashion that they did, right? Because this was like an easy win to say the least, right? I mean, the Dodgers were winning, most of the game, right? I mean, that's the reality, right? I mean, the Cubs really were not, standing a chance to say the least, right? They didn't really have a shot. Don't Care says also work nights, watch the game on phone. There we go. See, that's awesome. So we got people that were watching the whole game. They were up, so that's great. What about for those of you that weren't working nights and you had to get up to watch this game? How many innings did you actually watch? So like I said, I watched 3 innings, but how many of you got up in the 3rd or 4th inning? Or maybe some of you just got up and watched the 9th inning if you got up at 5:30, or the game ended, I believe, 5:50. So maybe some of you just got up and watched the last bit, or maybe some of you didn't watch the game at all, right? There's got to be some of you that didn't watch the game at all, right? Maybe you're just barely waking up and you're seeing your phone and you see, wow, Dodgers won 4-1. Or maybe you're tuning in right now to find out exactly what happened, right? Well, the Dodgers got an easy win. That's all I got to say. This was a comfortable win, a win that the Dodgers, were expected to get. 1-0 to start off the year. Like I said, though, yesterday, I expect the Dodgers to split these 2 games. So I'm hoping I'm wrong, right? I hope the Dodgers, get a win tomorrow and they don't split, right? But don't be surprised if the Cubs, have a bit of a better effort tomorrow. And, with Freddie Freeman and Mookie Betts not playing again tomorrow, I don't know. Freddie Freeman is still not been ruled out for tomorrow, right? It's not been confirmed yet. But I'm just saying the rib discomfort, are they really going to risk him, for a game tomorrow and then not have him play for, a week, right? Because the Dodgers are playing tomorrow and then they don't play for quite, not a week, but it's, till Sunday, right? So it's 5 days, right? Because the Dodgers have to fly back to the United States and they don't play until Sunday night against the Angels, right, at Dodger Stadium. Play Sunday through Tuesday, the last 3, guess you can't call them spring training games because they're at Major League Baseball stands. But the last 3 preseason games will be Sunday through Tuesday of next week, right? So do the Dodgers really risk, Freddie Freeman if he's having left rib discomfort? If he's gonna miss those, if he's gonna miss a few days, that's a big question, right? If he's gonna play or not tomorrow. But Mookie Betts is, obviously not playing tomorrow. Already back in the U.S. That's already confirmed. So with Dodgers having these injuries or these players that are out, I think that makes a difference for sure in, the Dodgers having another comfortable win, right? And then tomorrow, it's, we have to already look ahead to tomorrow, right? Tomorrow we got Roki Sasaki's Major League debut, right? I mean, this is going to be his first Major League Baseball game, right? This is going to be Sasaki's first Major League Baseball game, and I think everybody's excited, right? I mean, everybody wants to see what kind of pitcher this guy. I mean, we've already seen the spring training stats, and we've seen the, for those of you that are watching spring training, we saw what kind of pitcher this guy has the potential to be, right? With his pitches and the way he throws and the velocity, which is kind of crazy. This guy's throwing harder than what Yamamoto is throwing, right? I mean, so and he's younger, so that's a big story in that alone. So if Sasaki ends up being super dominant tomorrow, then the Dodgers are really going to be super unbeatable, right? Because they'll have another weapon ready to go along with Blake Snell, Tyler Glasnow, and Yamamoto. I mean, think about it. When does these 4 guys end up being super dominant all year long? Who's going to beat the Dodgers, right? I mean, if Blake Snell, Tyler Glasnow, and Yamamoto and Sasaki all stay healthy and they all are winning 13, 14 games or something, who's going to beat this team, right? I mean, think about it. I mean, if that happens, I mean, who is going to beat? I mean, obviously, they're not going to all win 20 games. It's impossible, especially in today's modern baseball. But let's say they all win like 13, at least 13, 14 games, right? All 4 of them. That's going to be like, who's going to beat this team, right? Now, obviously, we're getting a bit of ahead of ourselves to say that that's going to happen. But I'm just saying, if Sasaki ends up, becoming a all-star, or at least close to being an all-star in his rookie year, I mean, the Dodgers are going to be super tough to beat. They're going to be really hard to beat. They're already going to be tough to beat from the get-go, right? With the team that they got, arguably the greatest team ever assembled on paper, right? I mean, that's what the Dodgers are. This is one of the great, if not the greatest, one of the greatest teams ever assembled, ever, because of what they were able to do this offseason, right? I mean, that's what they were able to create with this team, a team that's completely stacked from top to bottom, in every sense, right? At every position, basically, they got something to bring, something special to bring to the table. And we got one of the best rotations ever. Starting, and we haven't even talked about Shohei Ohtani pitching, right? I mean, it's obvious, it's just insane the kind of team this team has, right? It's absolutely incredible. Because Ohtani, we don't even know when he's going to pitch, right? I mean, there's obviously that idea that he's going to pitch in May, that he'll be ready to go by May. That's the original idea, or just the I guess they're estimating he'll be ready by then, but that's a big question mark, right? Because we don't know exactly when Ohtani, are they going to really rush him back, that quick, right? I mean, that's because he's obviously been a bit delayed, when it comes to his rehab, right? So and I just don't think the Dodgers are going to rush Ohtani back. I just don't think that's going to happen. I think the Dodgers are going to be very careful with Ohtani coming back, because look, the team has no need to risk him, right? I mean, look at all the players they got. This team is completely stacked. They got all these pitchers. They were able to get a win today, comfortably. They got so many weapons when it comes to their starting pitching, that they don't really need to, risk Ohtani, because this guy, think about it, he has 2 hits today, 2 for 5. I mean, this guy is the best hitter the Dodgers got, right? I mean, his last at-bat proved it. I mean, who else in baseball is going to do what he did on his last at-bat? Nobody is, right? I mean, there's nobody in the game that could do that. So, that alone, I mean, there's just no way the Dodgers are going to risk that, right? And they already got enough pitching. They got so many stars. I mean, they don't even really need him to be, they just don't need it. I just don't think they need Ohtani to be that that star that they at the mound. Rather, they honestly just don't really need that. They need Ohtani to be the star that he was at the plate again, like he was in 24, right? I mean, that's what they're going to, obviously 50-50, or that's going to be really hard to achieve again. But I mean, the just him being, hitting like 260, 270, get like 30 home runs or something. I mean, if he's able to do that, like 35, 40 home runs, right? I mean, that's going to be a huge year for the Dodgers, right? And the Dodgers have so many hitters, right now they're shorthanded, right? Think about it, no Betts, no Freeman. That's already a big loss right there. Cody says, good morning, Dodgers family. Yeah, good morning, everybody. It's 6:54 in the morning here on the West Coast, right? 6:54 in the morning, right? If you're on the East Coast, it's about to be 10 a.m. Or if you're in the Central Time Zone, it's going to be 9, but still super early, right? Super early, to say the least, to watch the Dodgers today. For those of you that are hopping on, and maybe you're seeing the stream or seeing the channel for the first time, make sure to hit the subscribe button, like the video, share it. And yeah, it's super early, right? But like I was talking about, early on here on the stream, how many innings did you actually watch, right? I think that's what I think everybody's super interested to know. How many innings did you get a chance to see in today's game? If you were, getting up to watch this game, did you watch 1 or 2 innings, or who actually watched we had some comments here from people that were working nights and watched the whole game, but who got up just to watch this game? I want to know. Comment below. I mean, I got up, top of the 7th, right? I didn't even get a chance to watch this whole game. So that's what it's kind of bugging me about tomorrow, because I don't want to miss Roki's first start. So I think I might actually get up super early to watch Roki tomorrow, because I really want to watch Roki Sasaki's like major league debut, right? Which is going to be at 3 a.m. and he'll probably be out of the game by like 4:30 a.m., right? So it's going to be if you want to watch that major league debut from Roki, it's going to be an early one, right? 3 to 4:30 live here on the West Coast. This is where I would like to be on the East Coast, right? I mean, getting up at 6 to watch the game is totally doable. I mean, I would be up at 6 to 9 watching the whole game, no problem if I was on the East Coast. But, man, just the 3 a.m. on the West Coast is just too hard. It's just too hard to get up at 3 and then be able to stay up all day. I mean, if I had to get up at 3, I would have to go back to sleep now and then, like, just sleep all day, right? But which I wouldn't be able to do today. But, yeah, thanks for hopping on if you're watching this by trying to stay awake here in this extremely difficult morning for us Dodger fans. But the Dodgers get a big win, 4-1. That's the important thing. I think that's what everybody is super excited about. But yeah, comment below. What do you think about today's win? What did you think about the Dodgers, getting this W today? What are your thoughts? What are your early impressions of today's game, or today's season? Is this going to be this is obviously going to be a good omen, I think, for the rest of the year, right? I think we got ourselves one of the best teams ever, and we're completely stacked. And I think this is going to be where we're going to be seeing these kind of wins throughout the 25 season, right? And I think it's going to be, some of these games are going to be rough to watch in terms of entertaining, because we're going to have a lot of blowout wins this year. I mean, come on, this is not trying to sound arrogant, but the Dodgers are, quite frankly, above and beyond the best team in baseball, right? And there's going to be some teams out there that are not going to be competitive against this team. They're just not. I mean, think about when the Dodgers take on, the Oakland Athletics, or they take on the Colorado Rockies at Dodger Stadium. Obviously when they go to Coors Field, it's going to be a close game because it's Coors Field. But I mean, let's say they go to let's say the Rockies are playing at Dodger Stadium. What are the chances the Rockies even win a game out of those 3, or out of those 4, depending on if it's 3 or 4? I mean, come on. I mean, the Dodgers have everything the Rockies don't have, and quite frankly, those games will probably not even be close, right? I mean, they'll be blowouts. They'll win by 8, 9 runs, 10 runs, and that's exactly the kind of team the Dodgers have. So we're going to have a lot of these type of games throughout the year that are going to be kind of like blowouts, or games that the other team never really had a shot to win, because that's what the Cubs had no shot to win this game at all, right? They never had a shot to win. So that's how it felt like today. And playing in a neutral site is always a challenge, right? Well, the Cubs technically are the home team, right? But it's always a challenge. You could see it watching, the game today, that playing, overseas in a foreign country in a completely different time zone is a challenge, right? It's a challenge that I think you see it a lot in, other sports, in the, when we had the Olympics or World Cup, right? If you're a soccer, football fan. And I think today you saw the challenge of playing in another continent, was present, right? Because you're playing in it, your body's, trying to get accustomed, and you're trying to play this game. And I think that's what kind of kept the game a bit close, right? In some ways, right? I mean, if the game had been, different, if it had been completely set up in a different way, playing at Dodger Stadium, we would have had a completely different story, right? So that's a big thing, playing in another country, in another continent, is always a challenge, and I think it's obviously, going to be something we're going to be looking at the next, today and tomorrow, right? Dodgers will be going back to the States after tomorrow's game. But what do you guys think? What do you think? Do you think it's a challenge? Comment below if you're watching. What did you think of the games out in Tokyo, or the game today in Tokyo, playing so far away? What did you guys think? We're not getting a lot of comments today. I know it's super early for a live stream, but we had to go on live today as soon as this game ended. But Yeah, comment below. What did you guys think of today's win? Where are you watching us from? Maybe some of you are watching us in Japan, right? Like Brad J talked about, I believe a few days ago. We got a lot of fans, a lot of people watching us out in Japan right now with the channel, with the Dodgers Digest channel. That's mainly because the Dodgers are in Japan, right? I mean, that's literally where they are right now, playing baseball games. So we want to thank everybody who's watching us in Japan. Right now, it's 11 p.m. in Japan, right? Because today's game started at 7 p.m. local time, and that was 4 hours ago. So it is now 11 p.m. out in Japan. So maybe some of you are about to go to bed or, getting ready to go to bed out in Japan. We're barely getting up, and over there, it's already the end of the day. It's already the end of Tuesday. It's crazy how that is, how big planet Earth is. That's what just shows you how big our world is, right? It's so huge. It's hard for us to comprehend. But yeah, so maybe thanks a lot for those that are watching us out there. We appreciate everybody that tunes in across the world. This isn't a local radio station or a local TV station. This is the World Wide Web, right? Everybody that has an internet connection and has YouTube, and everybody has YouTube, right? Everybody's got that installed on their app, on their phone, has that app installed. So if you got YouTube installed, I mean, all you got to do is type Dodgers Digest and we'll be right there. You can go anywhere in the world and we'll be right. There's no blackouts on our channel, right? Won't be any blackout restrictions here. But yeah, thanks everybody for watching, for sure. We might cut the stream a little short here if we don't get some more attention, more comments here. But yeah, Dodgers get a nice win. I wanted to kind of go over the stat line again from the batters to the offense. Looking at the offense again today, I wanted to kind of highlight something here. You look at Will Smith today, picked up 3 walks, right? 3 walks is something I had forgot to talk about early on. And also Max Muncy picked up 2 walks. So, and Andy Pajes picked up 2 walks as well. So that was something to think about. 3 guys there combined for 7 walks. Players that are not talked about enough, I think. But Will Smith and Max Muncy has he's gotten some, obviously he's been bashed a bit for the strikeouts, but today, he showed, he's got patience at the plate, for sure. He has the potential to do that. Got a couple walks in the game. It's not that easy to do that. I think it's not that hard. It's not that easy to get to walk as people think it is, right? Because you could easily fall for a bad pitch. But he showed a lot of composure today. And then Will Smith, too, right? Will Smith getting 3 walks. He's one of the best hitting offensive catchers in baseball, Will Smith, and we got him. So just wanted to highlight that. A couple guys that I don't think get enough credit. Will Smith, Max Muncy, and then even Andy Pajes, right? Which we're going to be looking at closely throughout 25 as he gets more playing time. This guy's got on base, and that makes all the difference for the other stars, right? Don't Care says, what will happen first? Muncy gets a hit or Padres score a run? I'm going to say Muncy gets a hit, right? Because tomorrow Muncy should be able to get a hit. And yeah, I'm going to go with Max Muncy doing that. Looking forward to, seeing throughout the year how these guys continue to contribute. Because that's been something I think a lot of fans are interested in too, right? Because we have the big stories with Ohtani and Freddie Freeman now, a Dodger legend after last year's World Series. This guy will forever be a legend. So the big story is, how do these other players contribute, right? I think that's a big question mark, right? How do the other players on the Dodgers chip in to contribute? I think that's what everybody is going to be interested to see in the 25 season, because you need all these parts to win, right? This is a team game. This baseball is not basketball, right? Basketball, in some ways, is not really a team game, but baseball is. This is a team game. You need a lot of people to chip in if you want to win a championship, right? It takes a lot of pieces, a lot of working parts. It's a lot of it's a lot of stuff happening to get a championship, a World Series. It's very difficult, right? And as we know, pitching is important. The offense is important, and the batters are important, right? Getting on base, getting hits, and also as important is the bullpen, right? And like we talked about earlier, I mean, this is super important, right? What Yamamoto did, and also the bullpen, right? Banda, Kasparis, Trinan, Scott, all these guys were great, right? And that's how it's going to be throughout this year. I think we got so much firepower in this bullpen that it's going to be in some ways a breeze for the team, right? I mean, if we have a 2-3 run lead in if when the Dodgers take a 2-3 run lead in this season, you're going to feel pretty good about this team getting the win that night or that day. Just because of the names that are in this bullpen, right? And that's even with Ryan Brazier going to the Cubs. I mean, it was kind of weird to watch him pitch today with the Cubs, right? Especially in the ninth inning. And what else was super weird also in this game was Justin Turner, former Dodger legend, playing on the Cubs, right? That was definitely a strange one to say the least, right? Coming in as a pinch hitter there, getting a good swing too. Hitting it deep on a fly out. That was strange, seeing Justin Turner on the Cubs, right? Love JT. That guy was such a likable guy, right? I mean, this guy was so fun to watch when he was on the Dodgers. So many memories of seeing him at Dodger Stadium, right? Going to the ballpark and cheering him on. And it's just too bad, of course, not on the team anymore. But that was weird, seeing JT on the Cubs, right? But yeah, comment below if you're watching JT memories. What's your favorite JT memory if you have one? Basically because, we saw Justin Turner today with the Cubs. But, yeah, the bullpen for sure is going to be super key to say the least, right? Super key, super important what this team is going to, the bullpen going to be relying a lot on. Every baseball team in modern baseball relies on their bullpen. Everybody does, right? Because why? Because starting pitching is less now, right? It's not as important. Well, it is important, but it's not like before, right? Where we had guys going complete games, right? That's not happening anymore. So what is that? What has happened then? Now the bullpen is given more importance than before, right? So if you don't have a strong bullpen, if you have a lead and you're not confident that your bullpen can get the win, then you're in big trouble. And we see that with teams all the time, right? We see it with the team down south of us, right? Not too far down south, right? The Angels, right? They've had an atrocious bullpen for years, and that's why they're year in, year out of the playoffs, right? Because they can't close games out. So that's a big key for any team, right? And the Dodgers have a strong bullpen core that they're going to be able to bring these guys out and get the job done with no issue at all. And that's what that's how it's going to be this year. A lot of games where the Dodgers are comfortably ahead with not a lot of issue, right? With little to no issue, going to get those wins, and that's how it's going to be in 25, right? I think that's more, that's going to be the given for sure. But yeah, I want to thank everybody who's been tuning in, who's been hopping on the live stream today, live post game. We're gonna do this tomorrow as well. Going to be up tomorrow. Talking Dodger baseball, right? What else? Dodgers Digest. We love the Dodger fans. It's been insane, the growth of this channel. Over 7,000 of you subscribed. We started out with like 5-10 people for like the longest time. Now we got over 7,000 people. It's nuts. We could literally fill up like the Whiskey A Go-Go or something. There's we got 7 Whiskey A Go-Go's, right? Basically. But me, I'm a big rock and roll guy. As you see, I got Kiss and Eddie Van Halen behind me right there. So yeah, gonna try to get some more posters behind me so you guys see all my favorite bands. But yeah, thanks everybody for the support for sure. And yeah, We got a question from Connor. Is there a Dodgers Digest Instagram? No, there isn't. There's no Dodgers Digest Instagram. We're still working on getting social media started for this thing. Right now, we're only on YouTube. But you can follow my Instagram. That's where I got all my show updates. You can go to The Mike Nelson Show. And that's my Instagram. Just type in the, like THE, Mike Nelson Show on Instagram, and it's right there. Basically, my public Instagram where I put all my radio stuff and my Dodgers stuff, and that's what I do. Designer says Sorigato, and then Nick says Eddie. Yeah, of course, the best guitarist of all time. That's what I got back there for sure. I got to get more posters here. It's a little bit, bare, right? Barren behind me. But sometimes I have my green screen as well, and you'll see Dodger Stadium behind me. So I didn't want to put Dodger Stadium behind me today because, I mean, the Dodgers weren't even playing there, so it would be kind of dumb, right? Dodgers playing in Tokyo, so. But yeah, appreciate everybody for always the support. Super early in the morning, man. It's like 7:10 in the morning, and we're up here talking baseball. Connor says we'll be back tomorrow for more Dodgers Digest. Appreciate it, Connor. We really appreciate the support. Yeah, tomorrow we'll be back. Same time, same place. Yeah, 6:30 a.m. And tomorrow, breaking news, but we're going to have Brad J on the show. So we're looking at that. Brad should be on with me tomorrow. So it's going to be even better. Brad and Mike talking Dodger baseball live. So we're going to be working on that today to get that done. And should be a great show tomorrow morning. So, yeah, it's a super exciting, for sure. Don't care, it says, peace out, time for some sleep. Yeah, I think you need to get some sleep if you've been up for the whole game. Appreciate it. For those of you that are hopping on the stream, we're going to be on here for about 15 minutes or so more if we get some more questions and comments. But yeah, for those of you that are hopping on, what did you think of today's win? What did you guys think of today's W for the Dodgers? 1-0 to start off the year. Cubs are 0-1. First game to kick off the 2025 baseball season. Think about that. The 2025 Major League Baseball season is finally here, right? It's officially here. There's still some teams out in Florida and Arizona playing spring training games, right? Not everybody's left spring training because, yeah, it's still going on, but the season is kicked off, right? The season is officially here, and I think it's super exciting. I mean, I've never been more excited for a baseball season than this year, right? I've never been as excited because, obviously this year I'm covering baseball like no other year, so I mean, I'm literally doing a Dodgers show. But, I mean, this season's interesting, right? Because we got the Dodgers coming off a World Series championship. They arguably put together one of the greatest teams ever assembled for this year. And there's a lot to look forward to. There's so much to look forward to for this year, right? I mean, come on, the last 2 years that going into the season, the Dodgers have felt like the whole pressure of last year's October collapse on them to start off the year. And this year, it's the complete opposite, right? I mean, they're coming off a championship, not a collapse, not a loss. They finished last year with a win. They were able to beat the Yankees in Game 5 of the World Series in Yankee Stadium, right? And they're coming off a W, right? And a comeback win, too, right? Because it was one of the biggest choke jobs in baseball history in Game 5, right? I mean, the Yankees should have won that game. We should have had a Game 6, and who knows, right? But the Yankees blew it, and they know they did, and they're probably never going to recover from that. They're not going to make it this year, and who knows if they'll ever make it back with these core players, core group of guys, right? Especially after the way they lost. But the Dodgers, like I said, they got pressure to win mainly because of the acquisitions that they've made, but not because of what they did last year. This year, we can't bash the team we can't criticize Dave Roberts like everybody's been criticizing Dave Roberts for the last few years. That can't happen because we can't criticize him because the Dodgers won the World Series, right? I mean, they got the job done finally after years and years of despair, right? They got the job done, and we just have to support this team like no other year, right? I mean, this year is the proudest time, at least in my lifetime. Maybe some of you were here in 88. Comment below if you remember those years back in the 80s or 81. But, I mean, those years obviously were legendary years to be a Dodger fan, the 80s, right? There were some rough years, too. Think about it. Dodgers only made the playoffs, was it 3 times in the whole decade, if I'm not mistaken? But now it's been, playoffs have been there for the Dodgers the last decade or so, winning the division most years. But the October collapses have been super bad, right? Super deflating. And it just felt so good to win last year because the Dodgers had, not got it done for so long, right? So that's why it just feels a lot different. It's a lot different this year. It just feels very different, the whole environment going into this year because of what the Dodgers did last year. That's my opinion. What do you guys think, though? Nick says, I miss Jock Peterson. Yeah, Jock was super good. He was a super good player for the Dodgers. Definitely miss Jock. But the strikeouts were definitely a bit high for Jock, and that's why I think the Dodgers decided to move on from him. Nick says, job well done. Yeah, job well done for sure with the Dodgers last year. Connor says, okay, so Nick says no comment on 2020. Yeah, well, 2020 was, of course, a World Series championship for the Dodgers. It counts as a World Series. It was in the bubble. Oh, Connor says, is it time to trade James Outman? Yeah, that's a good question, Connor. I think, like I've talked about before, I think this is the perfect time to trade James Outman because Outman had a great rookie year but had a down sophomore season. And if he has another bad season in 2025, then trading him going into 26 is going to be tough, right? Because it's going to be back-to-back years that he didn't do much, and his trade value is definitely going to diminish after this year. Kind of like Chris Taylor, right? Both of these guys are in a prime position to be moved. Chris Taylor, maybe his trade value is already dropped. I don't know. Maybe it has. I mean, the way it's looking, it looks like it has, right? Because the Dodgers have been actively shopping Taylor for months now, and it doesn't seem like there's much interest. So maybe, and they're not much interest because of the contract that he's getting paid too. So maybe his value is down as well. But James Outman's value is, I think, still pretty good, right? I mean, I think the Dodgers can trade Outman for a formidable starting pitcher, not like they need it, or a formidable bullpen pitcher, also not like they need it. But maybe they trade him for somebody, a pinch hitter, somebody they could use, to come off the bench and hit, right? So it's hard to know. With the Dodgers have so much talent already, it's hard to know what they're going to need at the trade deadline because we don't know what injuries they're going to have, right? I mean, look at it. This year, the Dodgers started off the year without Mookie Betts, without Freddie Freeman, right? I mean, both these guys are not going to play 162. They already missed the game, right? They already did. So we don't know who's going to be hurt and who's not going to be hurt come trade deadline. So we have to wait and see what the Dodgers' needs are when it comes to that. Nick says, Taylor bobblehead in my room. He's the most veteran. Yeah, I believe I have a Chris Taylor bobblehead as well. They're not here with me right now, but I got a lot of bobbleheads. I got the Tommy Lasorda one, and got a whole bunch, right? I love the bobblehead nights the Dodgers have. It's super fun. Also, a pretty cool giveaway they're gonna have. If you haven't seen, they're gonna have a Oral Hershiser World Series jersey giveaway on the first Saturday of the regular season, like next Saturday. That's gonna be super crazy. I mean, I love the 1988 World Series jersey. The jerseys they used in 88 were awesome. They're beautiful jerseys, and especially the road ones, I think they're awesome. Just the way the color looks and everything. And they're going to give Hershiser away jersey, basically, at that game, right? So that's going to be, it's going to be packed on that Saturday night against the Tigers. It's going to be so packed. You're going to have to get there. I think probably going to have to pull into the parking lot, taking Dodger Express, or, if you're going to park there, you got to get there by 4:30. I think by 5:30, those things are going to be gone. Game's at 6 o'clock. I think by 5:30, they're all gone because it's going to be crowded. I think a lot of people are going to want that Oral Hershiser 88 jersey. So That's going to be on that first Saturday. Our first the first series of the year, right? 'Cause at home, right? Next week. It's a 3-game set. It starts on Thursday, right? Because Sunday we have a off day, which is crazy. When was the last time the Dodgers? I mean, no, they had an off day, I believe, last year on a Sunday. They had one, but it's really weird to have an off day on a Sunday. It's super strange. Super strange to say the least. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that Oral Hershiser giveaway on that first Saturday because I really like those '88 jerseys. I really like it. As you guys know, I look like I'm from the '80s, right, with my hair. But I mean, but yeah, it's gonna be super a lot of cool giveaways, and they got those giveaways against the. What is it, when the Padres come to Dodger Stadium? I think we're giving away some pretty interesting bobblehead choices, right? So that's going to be fun. It's going to be just a fun year. I'm just so looking forward to this year. I think this year we're going to have a lot of wins. It's going to be a lot of celebrating this year. Of course, I think it all, obviously health, right? The Dodgers got to stay healthy, right? I mean, if the Dodgers, it's think about it. They already have Freeman and Betts hurt. So, I mean, Betts is sick right now, ill. On the mend, but Freddie Freeman's already injured, right? Rib discomfort, right? And who knows if Freddie plays tomorrow, which is obviously a big loss for the Dodgers, right? If Freddie, misses an extended period of time during the season, maybe not for the rib, but for anything else, it will be something the Dodgers will feel for sure because they don't have. I mean, they're playing Kike Hernandez at first base, who is not really a first baseman. He could play all over the field, as we know. He's capable of it, but he's not a first baseman, right? So, Freddie Freeman is a natural first baseman. He's one of the best players at his position, not just offensively, but also defensively. The way he plays the field, right? I think it's overlooked how good of a first baseman he is, right? So, not having him at first base is definitely not something we want to see, right? So hopefully Freddie Freeman gets back soon. Hopefully we'll see tomorrow if he plays or not. I don't expect him to play tomorrow. I don't think the Dodgers will risk it. But I'm really hoping next Thursday he's in the lineup, right? And also Mookie Betts, like I've talked about, lost 15 pounds with this illness. And it's going to be a challenge for him to come back, right? It's not going to be, I don't expect Mookie to be the Mookie Betts we know. Even if he plays next Thursday, it's going to take some time for him to kind of get accustomed or back into game shape. It's going to take time, so it's not going to be easy for Mookie Betts. It's thoughts and prayers for sure with Mookie dealing with what he's going through right now. But yeah, it's what do you guys think? For those of you that are hopping on, maybe some of you are just barely waking up. Good morning. Dodgers get the win, 4-1 win. 4-1 win for the Dodgers over the Chicago Cubs. Super excited. 1-0 to start off the year. How many innings did you actually watch? Like I watched 3 innings today. I got up at 5 a.m. and I was like, I'm going to watch the end of this game. I missed the first 2 hours. Yeah, I'm sorry. I just cannot get up at 3 and still be up now, right? I'd be asleep. I wouldn't be able to do the show. So that wouldn't be fair, right? You guys want to hear me talk Dodger baseball. So, yeah. So, yeah, we had to get up a little bit, miss some of that game, but it's all good. Tomorrow, though, I think I'm going to get up tomorrow. What do you guys think? Should I get up at 3 a.m.? I think I should get up at 3 tomorrow to watch Roki's first start, right? I mean, I think it's worth it, right? I mean, this might be part of baseball history. Roki's first start in Japan, Japanese-born player, right? This is like baseball history, right? Tomorrow, I think I should get up at 3. I think tomorrow I should make the sacrifice, and I should be up at 3 a.m. to watch the entire game, because I think tomorrow is part of baseball history. I'm just happy that I'm not doing a watch along, because that would be rough, doing a watch along at 3 a.m. We will be doing a watch along, though, next week. The first one's going to be on Tuesday, actually. Something I forgot to mention. So next Tuesday night, the last preseason game of 25, I'm going to be doing the first watch along. It's just going to be like a trial run. Gonna be doing play-by-play. Dodgers Angels from Angel Stadium. So that's gonna be next Tuesday, the first one before we go into the regular season, right? And Thursday is gonna be the first big one with opening day. So yeah, if you're like at work or you're driving home, you can always go to Dodgers Digest, and I'll be right there commenting on the game, doing the play-by-play, keeping you up to date. So that will be next Tuesday, right? The first live stream, first watch along of the 25 season. Next Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. So yeah, should be good. And also, like I talked about, we're gonna have myself and Brad are gonna be doing this post game tomorrow. Same time, same place. 6:30 Pacific, 9:30 Eastern, a.m. of course. Wrapping up the Tokyo series, the 2-game set out against the Cubs. So we're gonna be breaking that down tomorrow. So hopefully you can tune in also tomorrow, right? Definitely looking forward to that. But I want to thank everybody who hopped on the stream today. Appreciate everybody's support. Like the video, comment, share it. Thanks a lot, guys. It was a great win. It was a good show today because we had a win, right? It was a lot of positivity today, which is obviously great when the Dodgers win. It's always going to be a more positive stream for sure. I'm Mike Nelson. I am Mike Nelson. And I appreciate everybody. Good morning, everybody. And as always, let's go Dodgers. Woo!